What's going on, y'all? It's your boy. So today's video we're going to talk about how your ALC settings should relate to your playstyle, right? So, for example, you're Wraith me, aggressive, run into people's faces, right? The best setting I would say, the best ALC settings I would say for you, that would definitely fit that playstyle would be a linear, right? Most Wraith me, I think linear should be the go-to, right? Because here's the plus with linear. Up close, you can track really easily. You can, aim down sight while making all the necessary adjustments to kill the person, right? And you don't really have to hit fire and lose all that accuracy. And also with linear, right, that correction makes you like really helps you with the wingman, right? When you're using the wingman, which is I think the best gun in the game, if you get if you can master it, right, it helps you master the wingman way quicker. And trust me, if you're good with the wingman, then you're really good. If you're good with the wingman, you can definitely take out a lot of people. So linear gives you all the options. The downside with linear is it's very shaky. You can get used to it, but it takes longer to get used to than classic, in my opinion. Now I've been playing the game since it came out. I've tried close to a 50 plus ALC settings at this point, right? Linear takes longer to just master, right? You feel like you're good with it, you feel comfortable with it, but it takes longer to master, right? So you would probably come in the range like 30 minutes every day to just get your aim on before you go into a match, right? You can't just start a game and you're on linear and go into a match. It's hard to be consistent with linear. It's very inconsistent sensitivity. So if you're trying to use it, and unless if you're very aggressive, if it really helps that play style, it amplifies it. It gives you everything that you need. But at range, you're gonna feel very limited, right? So that's linear for you guys. And the second kind of player is that more balanced type player, that defensive kind of player. You're like you want to be good at pretty much everything. You want to be that Gibby. You can be good up close, right? But when your team is sitting back, you want to snipe. You can snipe too. You probably don't want to be too linear, right? Or you be missing your shots from range. Or you don't want to be too classic where when people come into your bubble, you can't adjust quickly to hit them with that PK shot. You feel me? So people will go, the so far X and all of them, they'll probably go in the middle here. They'll have some dead zone and then some response curve above 1 and probably towards 7, right? So this setting help you be. You'll probably be good at everything. It'll be hard to be great at one thing, right? So that's a huge downside to that. The plus is you can be good at pretty much everything, right? But the downside is you can't really master one thing. If you go up close and this guy's a good linear player, he can do a dog on you. You stand from here, you try to shoot a classic player, you're getting beamed, right? So, it's up to you. If you're trying, people usually use that as a progression to move from classic towards linear, right? So I would see that, but if you're just sticking on this as a setting that works, I don't think it. I don't. My opinion is not the best way to go, unless if you're Gibby me. All right, and then yeah, moving on classic, right? This is what I play on right now. All right, I'm done with linear. I've tried linear. It's good. I like it. I got used to it. However, I think classic is just more consistent, right? I don't play the game every day. I'm more of a casual now. I used to play the game a lot back in the day, so I used to really enjoy linear. But now that I'm a casual player, I got school and all that shit, so like I'm not gonna be in the range every day trying to get my shots on before I go into the match, right? And classic gave me that ability to beam people for pretty much every range, and I have enough control over my sense at close range to hip fire, right? I have enough control to do all that at close range. I have enough control from range to feel competent enough in a fight that I don't have to push and do stupid shit. So that's why I think classic is the best settings, because it gives you a lot more options and it's easier to master. And like most of the guys that you see beaming people on YouTube, the controller players that people complain about, they all usually play on classic. Think of Golden Boy, think of Daltouche, Trollus, JQ, bro. All those guys, they play on classic because it gives you that extra dimension, right? You can play the game from whatever angle, whatever whichever way you want to choose, right? If you're fighting a linear player, the only advantage they have is to come towards you, right? If you're fighting a Gibby that's or anyone that's playing on a hybrid, right? You know if they come towards you, they might have an advantage, but you still have this. You still have a hip fire that you have a lot more control over than he probably does, right? So that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys like it, if you guys want to say anything about it, if I got anything wrong, any thoughts, just put it in the comments. Subscribe and thank you. Peace.